Katya, go ahead.
Thanks, Vicky. Hi, Sacha. Congrats on the win. And first off, one question, it's just about the team and what you've seen in these two games and seeing all that work that you guys put in preseason and just seeing how hard this group is working and getting their results. And then the second part of the question, it's of course that moment that you had with Chris. How special was it to exchange the jerseys and just seeing the impact that your actions had in a way, and how it unfolded, the story unfolded in this way?
Yeah, the first part, about the team, I would just say there are two things that stick out to me so far this season. One is that I think we're just a little bit more solid and we're more difficult to play against now. So we are organized, we're working together. Everything is with the common goal that starts that we are hard to play against. The teams have to play around us and we're not giving up easy chances. The second part for me is that I think we're just a lot deeper now. So as I look back to the beginning of last season and to where we are now, just the guys that are coming into the game, I just think we have better options coming off the bench and talented players that are coming in and are able to really help the game. So those are two things that stand out for me. As far as the moment with Chris, yeah, the whole thing is crazy. Like you visit kids in the hospital sometimes and then you never hear from them again, or sometimes you hear the worst. And so for him, it had been so long that when I saw his mom in the lobby yesterday and she approached me, it was just so crazy that then she told me he was playing for Charlotte, and I was like, oh, in the academy? And she was like, no, the first team. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Like he beat it and he kept pushing himself and ended up having a great college career and now turning pro at a young age. It was fun to watch him play tonight. I think for me, the whole moral of the story there is just, be a good person. It cost me nothing to be kind to him and his family that day. And if it just gave him 1% of hope, or it just made him smile a little bit that day, then it was all worth it, I think he comes from a great family. Now that I have kids, I can't imagine what his parents were thinking that day when they saw their kid in the hospital having to go into surgery. Like if that was my kid, I'd be thinking the worst. So never in a million years I would guess that day they were thinking that one day we would actually play against each other on a professional soccer field. But his parents were in the stadium today watching him play in front of 75,000 fans. Like that's pretty special.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sacha. We'll now go on with Jonathan Sigel from MLS Soccer.
Hey, Sacha. I'm going to keep video off just because internet connection has been spotty, but I was asking the same question. Obviously, it's been a heartwarming story that's circulated throughout the soccer world in the last 24 hours or so. What have you sensed in terms of the response? And you touched upon it a little there and what you feel is the moral of the story, perhaps. But how have you seen kind of the American, Canadian soccer communities be inspired amid kind of maybe not so great times in other ways?
Yeah, listen, life is tough sometimes, but life can also be beautiful. And so in that moment, like I said, if I was able to just bring him a smile that day and keep him happy and keep him distracted for whatever it was, an hour that I spent with him in his room, we can all just be better at that, I think. I think we can all just be nicer to each other, try to be kinder to each other with what's going on in the world today. And you never know what kind of day people are having. So, if we can all just try to be a little bit kinder to people, I think we'll make this world a better place.
We'll go with Andy Dioso, Yahoo.
Hey, Sacha, just to add a little bit to that, sorry for the noise. I'm here in Charlotte's kind of loud in the hallway, but I just wanted to know the post-game moment. You guys had a little moment on that field as well, and maybe what kind of conversation that was, and in terms of you getting spotted in the hotel and how that kind of caught you by a shot, and then being able to actually step on the field with him and come in and lay as a sub.
I was happy I was happy that we both ended up on the field in the second half, because I think that was just kind of a little. A special ribbon to put on the end of that. Look, he's in his second game as a professional, and I'm in probably my 650th. So we're at different stages in our careers, but it was still amazing to be on the field with Chris. In 5 or 10 minutes, he showed that he has some real quality, and he's a a savvy little player and getting the ball back on his right foot and trying to make some plays. So that was fun to see. I congratulated him after the game, and you know, I told him he could reach out to me whenever he wants it, if he wants advice or anything like that. But I'm looking forward to watching him, you know, for hopefully a long career. As far as us on the field, I think right after the game ended, I saw Bondi, you know, clapping for the Charlotte fans because they showed up today, and the place was awesome. It was a great place to play. Unfortunately for them, they didn't get their goal and they didn't get any points tonight, but their time is coming, and this place was really fun. So it'll be fun to watch Charlotte going forward.
We'll go with Sophie Nicola.
Hey Sacha, once again you've come on and made a difference in the game. Can you talk me through a little bit about the difference maybe that you're seeing with your experience last season's team versus this season's team? I know it's just 2 games, but it feels like there's a little bit more tenacity and backbone to the squad in just the short period of the start of this season.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in my first answer, was that I just think that we're deeper as a team right now with the guys that are coming off the bench and helping the game. And the other part is just that we're more solid. I think tactically, defending in our 4-4-2, we're solid. We have good ideas on where to push the ball defensively. And then, you know, I think the back 4 and midfielders, everyone's making plays right now to just make the game harder on the other team and not letting Bondi face as many easy shots as we did last season.
We'll close up with Alicia Rodriguez. Alicia,
Thank you very much. Hi, Sacha. You mentioned earlier that you played a fair few games in your career. I wanted you to maybe talk a little bit about comparing kind of the moment that you entered MLS compared to a night like tonight with so many fans, a new city, a new experience, and kind of how exciting it was tonight here.
Tonight was pretty special. I saw on Twitter today that 5 years ago to the day was Atlanta United's debut, and I played in that game with New York Red Bulls, and that was special. But this was even better. This was a pretty spectacular environment. You know, I walked around the city today for just a couple blocks outside the hotel to grab a coffee around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it was buzzing. Everybody was wearing jerseys. It was the talk of the town. And so to come here, even to come out for warm-ups and see a pretty much full stadium, it was pretty special. To think like I was playing in Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City in front of like 5,000 fans, 10, 15 years ago, to where we are today as a league. When I started, there were 12 teams. I think now we're at 28. It's mind-blowing. I don't think I personally never thought that we would be here this fast, and the league's in a fantastic place right now, and it's getting better. It was pretty fun to be out on the field tonight.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily want to compare this to Europe, but you did play in Europe, and I mean, are atmospheres like tonight something that reminds you of your time in Europe?
Yeah, I think back to like playing at Dortmund, where they've got a big stadium of 80,000 fans, and playing there in the Champions League. It's always special when you play at night under the lights too, and the stadium's just buzzing and it's fun. But this was pretty special because it's not often you get to play against the team in their very first home game ever, and the excitement that kind of drums up with what's going on over here. So, like I said, it was really fun. I'm glad we got the 3 points, and I can't not talk about Efrain's goal, by the way. No one has asked me. This is like going to be goal of the year. So shout out. I had a little talk to the team in the locker room. Special shout out to Efra because that goal was fantastic and that was world class. Thank you guys.